Good morning. Bonjour, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? I'm back for another live stream, even though there's no one watching. That's fine. I'm just creating content. As I said, I'm just too busy to record and edit videos like I used to, so I prefer to go live. And then I'm going to upload the highlights of this live stream as a video on my channel. Now, today's live stream is about My Daddy Long Legs. That's the correct title for this anime. I went with Daddy Long Legs for the algorithm, okay, because that's the most popular name for this story. My Daddy Long Legs anime is based on Jean Webster, Daddy Long Legs. Did I say legs or legs? Okay, let's start again. My Daddy Long Legs anime is a slice of life, coming of age, and romantic anime based on a Jean Webster Daddy Long Legs novel. The story follows Judy Abbott. Now, first, the anime was released in 1990. Yes, that's how old it is. And I watched it in the late 90s. I think it was 98, 99. That's when I watched this anime. And oh my God, I love it. Yeah, I love this story. It's one of my favorite shoujo anime. So the story follows Judy Abbott. She was abandoned as a child in New York and grew up in an orphanage. I don't need to tell you what life was like for her in an orphanage. We pretty much have an idea, especially back then. Yeah, people didn't have as many opportunities as we do now. There was a clear divide between the rich and the poor. So she grew up there. Even though she had a pretty tough life, she was a happy child. Yeah, and she had a way with words. Her stories were just amazing. That's what helped her get a scholarship. Why? She was sponsored to attend one of the best schools in the US. Yeah, one of the donators at the orphanage read a story and he loved it so much he decided to sponsor her. So he's going to send her to school to study and pay for all the fees. Is it called scholarship? When it's someone sponsoring you, is it also scholarship? I prefer to go with the word scholarship because it makes more sense to me. I'm not sure if there is another word in English. And Judy was very happy when she was told that you are going to attend Abraham Lincoln Memorial School. She was excited because only girls from good families attend that school. So the guy who was sending her to that school, benefactor, if I can say, is a rich man. And she was so excited, she wanted to thank him. She wanted to see him and thank him. When he was leaving the orphanage, she ran after him, but she couldn't see him properly. She saw only his shadow, and looking at the shadow, it seemed like he had long legs, like really long legs. Then she started calling him Daddy Long Legs. But the benefactor told the lady who ran the orphanage not to tell her his real identity. Tell her that my name is John Smith. We all know what John Smith is. So Judy Abbott has a chance of studying in one of the best schools in the US, which means she have better opportunities in life compared to other children growing up in an orphanage. She was really excited. She knew how lucky she was to find someone who was willing to pay for her to study. And she told herself that she has to study hard. She has to make the most of this opportunity because it doesn't happen often. It's not everyone who's as lucky as she is, because she was leaving. Some of the kids were staying at the orphanage hoping that one day someone will be good to them. We finally adopt them. Yeah. And Judy didn't like rich people. Okay. She didn't want people to feel pity on her. She didn't like it when rich people came to the school, to the orphanage to give them some old clothes. She didn't like it. Okay. But that's what was funny to me what a benefactor was doing, was it not pretty much the same, like giving her an opportunity, helping her out because she was an orphan? That's the contrast between, that's what I didn't understand. I felt like she was a little bit of an hypocrite. She picked and chose when it was convenient for her to accept help from rich people. She always talked about how she didn't like rich people, but is it not a rich man who's sending you to that school, who's paying for everything? Why didn't she say no? Yeah. So this is something that was my issue with Judy as a character. Yeah, if she really stood by her principles, like I don't want any charity from rich people, I don't want them to help me, she wouldn't accept help from John Smith, because John Smith is also one of those rich people she doesn't like. So when they give her old clothes, she doesn't like it, she feels insulted. But when those same rich people pay for her to go to school, she's happy. Like, no, decide, do you want help from rich people or not? So this was my issue with Judy. I felt like she was a little bit of an hypocrite. If she didn't like rich people feeling pity on her, why would she accept a scholarship, or why would she let a rich man pay for her to go to school? It's not the same thing. So maybe in her mind it wasn't the same, because it was a second-hand item. But when you are poor, you don't get to be choosy, okay? You accept the help, any help you get, you accept it. That's how you're going to make it in life. That's how you're going to put clothes on your back. Put your pride aside until you make it out, and then you speak your mind. So I felt like, I don't know if anyone agrees with me on this one, but I felt like Judy was a little bit of an hypocrite when it came to help from rich people. She didn't know John Smith. She never met him. It's just a rich man who wanted to do something good for the orphans. So how is it any different from those people who go there, give away their old clothes they don't want anymore? I don't know. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't understand Judy. That's why I'm saying this. So Judy goes to Lincoln Memorial School. And this school is for rich people. Even among the rich, there are like, there's a difference, okay? They are rich, medium rich, a little bit rich, and then like really, really rich. Those are the type of class of people you meet in those schools. And Judy, coming from an orphanage, she never felt like telling people that she doesn't have anyone. And she's going to that school only because someone felt like paying for her studies. So she made up all these stories about how she comes from a good family, she grew up in a good house, and one of her family members is paying for everything, her uncle. She told them, but one of her roommate, yeah, because she lived in a share house with two other girls, Julia Pendleton and Sally McBride. Like, as I was saying, even among the rich, there's a difference. Julia Pendleton is like at the top. She comes from high society, very, very rich family. Sally McBride's family is rich, but it doesn't compare to the Pendleton. So Julia was looking at Judy very funny. Yeah, she wasn't convinced. She felt like she was hiding something. But later on, they're going to become friends. And Judy was living a double life. A double life in the sense that she couldn't be herself. She couldn't tell people who she really is. She just said, I'm Judy Abbott. I'm here because one of my uncles is paying for everything. She never said that she's an orphan. She doesn't have anyone. Yeah? She never told anyone at all. She kept it to herself because she didn't want people to feel pity for her, to feel like, you know how people usually react when they see someone who isn't as lucky as they are. They start feeling pity. As I said before, Judy doesn't really like rich people, yeah. But she became good friends with Sally McBride. Sally is a sweet girl, and Julia Pendleton, well, she comes from a very good family. She's used to being treated differently from everyone else. So she's quite picky about who she wants to be friends with, and she's kind of yeah. So at first, they were she wasn't that close to Julia, and Julia was also trying to find out the truth about Judy. It's like she felt like she was hiding something, yeah, but she let it go, and then they both, not both of them, fell in love. It's like Judy met Sally's brother, who's a football player at Princeton University. He's a star of his team. He's well known. He's good looking. Is called Jimmy McBride. Jimmy McBride fell in love with Judy Abbott because she's an easygoing girl, okay? She's always laughing. She's very friendly. But Julia Pendleton fell in love with Jimmy. So every time Jimmy tried to have time with Judy, Julia always came in between. It's like, is this girl really that slow, or she just won't accept the fact that a man isn't interested in her because she comes from a rich family? Being with Julia Pendleton is like making sure that you never be broke again. Jimmy comes from a rich family too, but his family isn't as rich or as high class as Julia's. But he fell in love with Judy. Judy liked Jimmy as a brother. She had no romantic feelings for him, but Jimmy was in love with Judy, and it started causing tension between Julia and Judy because Julia was in love. She just wouldn't accept that Jimmy wasn't into her. Yeah, every time Jimmy invites Judy out, Julia always tags along. I experienced this when I was in my 20s. No, not 20s. When I was 18 or 19. I remember I was walking home with a friend one day, and a guy stopped me, started talking to me. But instead of, he was looking at me when he was talking. I knew that he was interested in me, but my friend was the one talking, like he was interested in her. I'm just like, what's she doing? You can't see that the guy, when he's asking questions, is talking to me, is asking me questions. I wasn't really into that guy. I wasn't interested, but I just felt like it was weird. I just felt like it was weird for her to jump in. Yeah, to jump in when he's talking to me. Like, can't you see that he's trying to chat me up? He's not interested in you. He's interested in me. So I experience it. It happens a lot, especially with teenagers. So Judy, since she didn't have feelings for Jimmy, she wasn't really bothered, but it started causing problems between Judy and Julia. Okay, because she just wouldn't accept that Jimmy was into Judy instead of being interested in her. So then later on, she's going to meet Jarvis Pendleton, Julia's uncle. As I said, Judy doesn't really like rich people. At first, that's how her feelings were for Jarvis. Julia was too busy to spend time with her uncle, so she asked Judy to keep him company. And while they spent time together, she came to appreciate him. Okay, she really liked him, and she actually fell in love with him, even though he was in his 20s. And Judy was like, what, 13, 14 at the time, while Jarvis was 28. This is my issue with Daddy Long Legs, okay? When I was a young girl, I thought it was the best love story ever. I really wanted Judy and Jarvis to be together. The age difference didn't matter to me. Later on, when I rewatch it as an adult, I rewatch it again during the pandemic. And I was just like, wait a minute, isn't this like grooming? this man knew this girl when she was a little girl. Yeah, he watched her grow. And then when she was old enough for him to marry her, he was just like, I'm in love with you. I want you to marry me. I'm just, oh my God. I did not notice this while I was a young girl, okay? You don't really think about this thing. The idea of love is so beautiful. You're just like, they should be together. You don't really care about the age difference. That's why it didn't matter to me at the time when I first watched it. I wanted Judy and Jarvis to be together, but Judy, because of her past, as I said, she's an orphan, and Jarvis comes from high society. She didn't feel like she could be with him. I'm just checking, yeah? She didn't feel like she could be with him because she's an orphan, okay? And she never told him that she came from an orphanage and she's attending that school only because someone is paying for it, without knowing who Jarvis Pendleton really is. This is one of my favorite love stories, so I just had to talk about it because I want you to give this anime a try. It's amazing. It's beautiful, okay? So if you have time to watch My Daddy Long Legs or Daddy Long Legs anime, give it a try. As I said, it's quite old. Yeah, it's quite old, but it's very good. It's a beautiful story. It just shows how people's life can turn around when given the right opportunities. Judy's life changed because someone saw a talent, someone saw something in her and decided to give her an opportunity. Later on, she tried her best to become independent because she didn't want to rely on John Smith to pay for everything, so she tried to make it out as a writer. As I said, her stories were really good. When she attended Lincoln Memorial, she started publishing articles. Editors loved working with her. She won a lot of prizes with her stories. I actually won a prize too when I was in high school. One of my stories won a prize. So that's why I said I have this connection to Judy because I love writing just her, and I won a prize in high school just like her. So maybe one day I'll become a writer like Judy, but I wanted to talk about this anime because it's amazing, it's inspiring. As I said, you may come from a poor family, but if you are given the right opportunities and you have the correct mindset, what am I trying to say? You may come from a poor family, yeah, but given the correct opportunities, let's try again. You may come from a poor family, yeah, but if you are given good opportunities and you have the correct mindset, you're going to make something good out of your life. That's what I'm trying, and that's what this anime shows. If Daddy's long leg or if Daddy Long Legs or John Smith didn't believe in Judy, didn't see something in Judy, she wouldn't be the woman she became later on. She became a writer. She had a very good life. She married a man who loves her. So yes, it's possible to make it when you meet the right people. That's why it's important to pick the people you surround yourself with. With the right people around you, you're going to make something good out of your life. That's all I have to say for today's video. I want to ask you to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.